A 5-year-old wets himself over a gun. You want to hear more about this, I know you do. But before you can hear more about this, you got to do me a big favor. And go ahead and hit that subscribe button below and join Fowler Nation. Understanding we produce 5 videos each and every day for your viewing entertainment. A 5-year-old, wet himself while being interrogated for 2 hours by school officials without a parent even being notified. Here is the story. This little 5-year-old kid brought a cap gun to school with an orange tip. Cowboy, the guns that they played in Cowboy. I remember when I was a kid, and we used to play Cowboys and Indians. You get the cap guns from the dollar store, and they would make little pop, 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 pop noises. And then, my mom was really cheap, and she only bought a couple of caps. When the caps ran out, she wouldn't go get you more caps. Anyway, that was off on a tangent. I get off on those from time to time. But this is how the story goes. This particular 5-year-old, he brings a cap gun to school to show it to his friend. His parents were unaware of this. And he made a mistake. He snuck it out the house and brought it to school. And after bringing it to school, he got caught. And they told, the principal brought him down to the office, and they interrogated him for 2 hours before his parents were notified. 2 hours, America. 2 hours. To the point where he got interrogated so hard and yelled at so hard that he peed on himself. Unbelievable, if you ask me. And I understand, and the mother was right here. The mother understands the reason why he's being punished. The mother accepts a 10-day suspension. What the mother's upset about, like I would be upset about, is why the hell do you have my son in quote-unquote captivity for 2 hours to the point where he pees on himself? Think about the mental anguish this 5-year-old's going through for really not doing anything that's that serious. He brought a cap gun to school with an orange tip. That means there's no bullets there. Nothing can happen to anybody. And then, to make matters worse, the principal says if the gun had caps in it, we would have to call the police. Like a cap is a bullet. And this has everything to do, and I've said this before on the show and I will say it again. This has everything to do with the culture of violence created in this country. And now that we have a culture of violence, in response to that culture of violence, we have a culture of hypersensitivity to gun violence. And I blame this on Wayne LaPierre and the NRA. I will continue blaming it on them because they created this culture of violence, and the answer or the response or the reaction to this culture of violence is this culture of hypersensitivity to violence. That's part of the problem. This is some high philosophical type stuff here, but it's a reaction to what the NRA and groups like the NRA have done to this country. And sadly, this 5-year-old boy peed on himself, and you could put the blame squarely on Wayne LaPierre and the National Rifle Association and the gun manufacturers. Thank you, Wayne and Smith & Wesson.